So welcome back to the Warchief Club for number 11, and we're in round 3 of the winners bracket. We've got GG.simtom and Despiron playing off, with GG.simtom on his Rus and Despiron on his English. So I can see why this game goes on a bit longer. It's a bit awkward trying to get to one another's base with this big monstrosity of a mountain in the way. It's going to make for a bit of an interesting battle for this boar and for this high ground hunt, but the Rus player is going to really want to go for it. There's also a boar over here for him to reach for, as well as a little hunt down this way. So both these players fresh off the back of a couple of wins. We'll see how we go in this matchup. So Despiron, don't know if he's going to go for, I don't think he's going to go for any sort of early farms at the moment. Just mining and gathering food. GG.simtom accruing the gold he needs through his scout activity around the map. Up to 2 scouts already. Up to 3. Got one here and one over here. There's only 1 scout for, 2 scouts for the English player now. So GG.simtom, he's only gone for the 2 scouts. It's a bit unusual because it's pretty often Rus players will go all the way up to 3. This is a really nicely positioned hunting cabin though. 26 gold a minute. Like normally you're going to get like 20. So enjoy it while it lasts, GG.simtom. A little additional gold accrual, because I think the map is going to screw you otherwise. But in saying that, all the gold is really far away from Despiron. Like there's one here, and this next one is all the way either over here or up here, whereas there's a nice pair of gold mines over the back here for GG.simtom. But also, he's then going to find it difficult because he's got to head all the way over here, south side of the map, or either player needs to sort of venture off to the top, where most of the gold, these large gold veins in particular, are located. So you've got a council hall going down versus a golden gate. It's a single villager making the council hall. I like this, Despiron only using the 1 vil. He is definitely only using the 1. Because I mean, while GG.simtom is going to get a much faster building, his age up's going to occur faster, he's not going to incur, Despiron's not going to incur any diminishing returns at all. So his gathering behind this is going to be exceptionally good. He can possibly even look at taking off a food vil or 2 and putting them on something else like go for gold, so he can beeline ecotechs as soon as he ages up, or he can look at getting another production facility on the way as soon as he ages up as well. While Despiron, with 4 villages, building the golden gate, it's nearly done, but it's cost him a lot of build time, and if it wasn't an eco landmark, it probably wouldn't have a huge amount of payoff other than the map control it might give you, like say if you're French and you get those early knights. So GG.simtom already looking to play a fairly defensive game, walling himself in on this side. And I think he might want to make it around a game of fortresses and a game of boars. But he has sort of walled himself off from this hunt over here and from the boar over here, so these things aren't free. It is going to cost you a little bit of wood to throw up the walls. It's nothing major. It does slow you down slightly. So Symptom hasn't looked at using the gate yet, I don't think. So what it does is it lets you, it acts as a market, but rather than normally penalizing you for trading, you actually just tap the button and you generate 50 extra of a resource based off the number of supplies you've got available, which you generate 1 a minute and you spawn with 1 when you build it. So very useful tech, because very useful building because it lets you actually be quite flexible early on. Like you get 2 supplies, double tap stone, get 400 wood chopped, and you can throw up in town center. So little things like that. That's a cool little detail. You can see it's full of logs. That's pretty sick. So the council hall's still on the way, so it's taken forever and a day to build, but behind this there's been a transition onto the farms and a wheelbarrow for Despiron. So things are looking great for him. And he can already look at going for some forward outposts. Although there is an early night there. So that villager is going to have to get out of there, and that outpost will probably have to be cancelled. So Symptom rushing out a knight. He's actually... Did he trade off then? What did he... How's he got 65 left? Oh, that's Despiron, sorry. So Despiron slowly mining stone. He wants to work towards a second town centre himself, but he also wants to not rob himself of too much economically behind this. So he wants to get spears to deal with the knight, get some more of his bowmen, just so he can pressure vills and stuff. But meanwhile, Despiron taking the boar fairly safely and securely. So Symptom looking very safe at the moment. Yeah, he's walled off pretty much this whole side of the map, walling himself in. But Despiron can always look at macroing up really hard behind this himself. I mean, he's already working towards the stone for a second town centre. Focusing down that knight. He doesn't want to waste any damage on the scout for now, because if he focuses the knight, Symptom can't stick around. And now he can worry about the scout combat. So, Despiron drawing a little bit of blood there. Why does it say Symptom's lost 11? Don't understand. I do not understand. Lost 11 of what? But anyway. Now that Symptom's pretty much walled himself in, he's actually pretty much given Despiron control of these 2 outposts up here, so Despiron for now, still just pushing out the Age 2 army, slowly working towards the stone he needs for the second town centre. Still with a single villager. He likes to be really efficient with that, so he can mount as much pressure as possible. He can work towards his eco tax, and even getting... Maybe, actually, he might even be going straight towards Age 3. Yeah, no, he's not even bothering with eco tax. He's got wheelbarrow and that's it. Meanwhile, he's going to get arrow slits, so he really wants to punish Symptom for playing so turtily so far. Or Symptom sneaking that early knight around, because he knows he might be able to force a garrison or maybe snipe a villager or 2. But meanwhile, having committed to second town centre, now he's going up to a whole bunch of bowmen. Can you get iron undermesh? Has he got any knights at the moment? But it looks like Despiron's going to fit in Age 2. I mean Age 3. Go for that castle age, because he knows his opponent He's probably going for second town center. Being the Rus player with that really generous pathway to a second town center. So yeah, we've got a Castle Age inbound now. King's Palace going up. Well, there is a single knight here, but there is a pair of spears just in case. It's a game of chicken here. Either that or they're not paying attention. One of the two. So now GG.simtom decides to go for it. The Despiron spears are ready. So the knight's going to have to back off in the meanwhile. Despiron punching through GG.simtom's walls. I'm not really wanting to stick around, just sending in a pair of scouts first to figure out what his opponent's got. Seeing that there's some bowmen. Alright, he's going to back out now. Sort of let his opponent make the next move. Does he want to commit to trying to wall up again, risk the villager? Risk losing the walls, though that's pretty neither here nor there. It's not a huge cost. So scout. GG.simtom just watching the sacred and the relic up there. And GG.simtom's really far ahead on score at the moment, but Despiron, I don't think he's out of this yet. Like, you just saw his score leap up as soon as that King's Palace finished up. Score in this game is just really whack. I don't understand it at all. But, I mean, GG.simtom is going to have a bit of a army advantage and eco advantage. So 54-33 versus 40-14. So army size definitely favouring GG.simtom. Eco size definitely favouring GG.simtom. But I don't know if it's going to last forever. So all this walling up, he's sort of allowed his opponent to boom. Now Despiron is an age up and hasn't invested, well, quite a lot in the walls really. So meanwhile, there's outposts with arrow slits positioned all through this mid-map. And all the relics are outside as well. So there's one relic down here. 2, 3, 4, 5. Not a single one is really in sort of the area of control of GG.simtom at the moment, except for maybe this one. But even still, his walls only go up this far. So very passive one. Both players just sitting back, not wanting to throw this one away. I suppose it's best of one. They made it this far. Why would they want to throw it away? Play an aggressive game. No need to be silly. It's very, very passive, particularly from Despiron's end. Down on population in both army size and eco size. Probably needs to add another lumber camp. There we go. Right in the middle of the wood line. Right in the heart. Well, if you can, try and clear out these cabins because that is just going to accrue value for GG.simtom. I mean, it's nice that he's pushed GG.simtom off it for free. But now if you can also sit back and have his bow snipe the building for free, then he's going to cost GG.simtom the 25 gold gen. Because, you know, whenever Rus players have hunts right next to wood lines, they are going to get a little bit of free resources out of it. This one over here, not so good, only generating 4 gold a minute, so not really make or break. Same with this one, but I mean this one in particular, and it never hurts to check what your opponent is doing. I think you can tell. I'm not actually sure. So if you go GG.simtom and then you click on it. No, you go. I was on Despiron. Yeah, so I think you can tell what your opponent's hunting cabins actually generate, and if the number's a double-digit number and it's there, you might as well harass the bloody thing. Just to at least put the sweat on them. Because it is more expensive than a regular mill. And I believe it's also squishier. No, same health. This outpost Gonna be a bit of a threat now. Symptom's going to be able to get back on this hunt as well. This is what I mean. So the bottom side's sacred. Was being captured, but no, it's just a warrior monk on his way to grab the relic. This outpost is going to fall. And Despiron, who was thinking, oh shit, I might as well grab that warrior monk before he picks off the relic, is now also thinking, oh, maybe I want to maintain some of this map control that I've got. This time I think he's going to be a bit more ready for a ram incoming. Might even be able to pick this off if Symptom's busy building the other one. Yeah, so he's just going to go for it. Symptom knows if he gets a couple of hits off now, it can make it easier in the long run anyway, but that ram is really quite low. So the ram goes down. In the meantime, did he manage to get... He's got monasteries. There we go. So warrior monk in the meanwhile has pinched the bottom relic. And I think the top one as well has been pinched by Symptom. So I take back what I said earlier. Rus OP. They've got those beautiful warrior monks that just give you the chance to pinch relics no matter how defensively you've got to play early. And so Symptom, I think, is up on relics behind all this. His gold income's looking really, really solid. Oh, attacking the boar there. It's interesting. So, picking off the boar. But at what cost is... Although those man-at-arms are really able to eat a lot of archer shots. These guys have to be careful they're not dealing overkill damage as well. So Despiron desperately fleeing with his tail between his legs, and he's only managed to secure one relic so far to his opponent's two, and the other two look like they're in possession of the Rus player at the moment. Just bearing in mind, warrior monks are going to have an easier time actually getting on them as well. And there's another one heading out there. Got a little bit more health and speed than a regular monk. They are broken. Nah, they're not that good. But they are a little bit better than regular monks. But the warrior monk is going to try and steal this if it can. Well, there is a monk here for Despiron. Instead, warrior monks to capture both the sacred and pinch this other relic. And he can always send a warrior monk down here. He feels he can afford it. And Symptom seems to have really snatched back the map control from Despiron at the moment. He's really walling up Despiron into a corner. It's going to be hard for Despiron to do any raiding here. And it is hard for Symptom to actually push into Despiron given the comps that the two of them have. Nice little night raid. Ooh, that knight might be in a bit of trouble. He's a bit low. 1 health. Nice save there for Symptom, but he's going to have to try and wait to let the knight through. Meanwhile, there is a bit of a tussle going down here. Ooh, nothing major. Just a couple of units Despiron's misrallied. Symptom picking them off. But meanwhile, Symptom's really going to have to lead with that healthy knight, because the other one's got 1 health. So a 229 health advantage. If he leads with the other one, because it forces SimTom to actually have to micro the shots to kill it instantly. Keep an eye on whether or not they actually go in. There's a bit of a melee going on here in the middle. And that sacred site, Despiron's desperately trying to hold on to, because SimTom right now has taken every relic but one. And he's inside his base. Ooh, but SimTom's TC picking off the low health knight pretty much instantly. Meanwhile, oh, there's a ram creeping up there, so what value is SimTom going to be able to get out of that? Meanwhile, rams from Despiron, so SimTom's going to have to deal with them. Same time, he's not going to overcommit with this ram just yet. He wants to wait till he can actually bring the army up and see if he needs to sneak it in later, because if he can go in on production at some point, it'll be brutal. But Despiron right now with an amazing range comp. SimTom going to Trebs when the range is all that bunched up. I mean, all that spread out. They're not going to really land any shots. This is cheeky hiding this here. And meanwhile, that knight getting cleaned up pretty reasonably quickly. Some knights going in here from the Rus player. But now, with some crossbowmen in the mix, it's a bit harder for them to really stick around. Just a bit of nice value as a front line. Keeping the man-at-arms off the bowmen and crossbowmen for the Rus player. And now that the bowman count's really been thinned out for SimTom, he's probably just going to go to making crossbowmen. Oh, he is making a couple of archers still. I suppose they're good against crossbowmen as well. So what's their attack speed difference? 1.5 second attack speed versus 2 second. So Despiron's still managing to push forward. He's doing a wonderful job here. But SimTom does have another knight there hidden away. He still has this ram tucked away as well. Eventually something has to give with one of these players. They can't just keep pushing up with bowmen into crossbowmen forever. Both of them having possession of a sacred. There's 4 relics, I think. Yeah, 4 relics to SimTom at the moment. Versus 1. Well, this one being contested by SimTom, and Despiron doesn't want to overextend into it. Huge score lead in favour of SimTom at over 2,000 there. Knights wrapping around, see if he can get any value as well. They're even fighting under the springald of the fortress there, which is not good for Despiron, because now he's going to bleed archers. This is going to kill one basically every 2 hits. And there's even mangonels in the mix. So SimTom with a wonderful mixed composition. And he's able to take this central sacred side off his opponent. While this one at the bottom, sort of under his control, he just hasn't really bothered taking it. He's like, nah, I can't really be staff. Don't really want to encourage fighting on that side of the map. Why not? And there is this gold mine here of Despiron's that SimTom's camping. Because I suppose if Despiron doesn't even realise it's there, you can always sneak units down and take it yourself. if push comes to shove, if it's ever a struggle to keep a hold of these middle golds, but no doubt he could probably outpost or keep up here and make that an absolute pain in the ass for his opponent. That ram is pretty well hidden away. Ah, Despiron going to see it now because he's finished the tower. But till that tower actually finished, GG.simtom was nicely snug, hidden away there. But he's going to be able to get the ram out. And in the meanwhile, GG.simtom's going to raid Despiron's gold mine over here. Like I said, he's already pre-positioned a knight on the other one. But it might not be the easiest in the world for Despiron to get on. GG.simtom basically maxed. Despiron really just needs to throw up some houses and he could be maxed as well. GG.simtom's got to bring a lot of his army down here because this main fight, Despiron's got so much here to defend. While GG.simtom's cavalry is really just getting picked off. The range of the longbowman proving to be really useful in a fight like this. Everything's so spread out, I can't even fit it all on the one screen. Over here, the cavalry overwhelming Despiron on that right flank, but this main army seems to be doing alright. These bowmen are really bunched up though, and it's not good for when they're taking fire from so much siege, but there pretty much isn't a lot of a back or a front line left other than the siege for GG.simtom at the moment. So Despiron able to get some nice high value kills on this range, but at the same time he's copying it on his own range line from these mangonels without having particularly staggered bowmen. Only really being staggered at the end there, but they're pretty much all dead. So Despiron, things are looking really desperate for him at the moment. GG.simtom just unloading on Despiron at the moment with tons of siege. He's got all these mangonels in the back. Not a huge amount of a front line, but Despiron doesn't really have the heavy ranged component to his army at the moment. These knights are able to just eat a lot of damage. Things are looking great for GG.simtom behind this. Look at his eco go. He's doing well to spend it all too. Can't really afford to go to age 4 at all, but I don't know if he's going to need to. He's just pushing so well into Despiron at the moment. And this is good if you can take out the gold income. He's already camping that gold mine at the bottom. Despiron really gold starved at the moment, so he's forced to make a mostly spear bowman army to try and worm his way out of this, and this far into the game I think it might just be too much for him. So that gold mine been taken out. This Southside one, I don't even know if he knows about it. And so GG.simtom securing the last sacred site. So he's also up on the relics, so his eco behind this is just monumental, almost 2k gold a minute income. So Despiron forced to have to try and take a sacred in the event he ever makes it out of this, and I don't know if any of his men are coming out of this alive. GG.simtom goes through. And Despiron is through to the losers bracket. Yeah, thanks guys. I might take a break there.